Hi everyone, so today I'm here with a movie review and I'm going to be doing a review of The Host by Stephenie Meyer. So I went to see this movie today after I finished my psychology test. So when I was going in to see The Host, I was trying extremely hard not to get my hopes up because the last time I did that I was extremely disappointed. And that was Beautiful Creatures by Kami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. I didn't enjoy the adaptation of that movie at all. So I was trying not to get excited and get my hopes up for the movie because I was let down the last time, but I was pleasantly surprised by The Host actually. I thought the adaptation was fantastic, even though there were bits and pieces missed out and bits and pieces that were changed. It didn't feel as if there was anything missing from the movie or anything that the movie lacked. It felt complete and I absolutely loved it. I didn't expect to love it, but I did. I was smiling all the way through the movie. It was just absolutely fantastic. I loved it. Okay, so the start of the movie, I made a very quick decision that I wasn't going to enjoy the movie because the first part was quite different from the book, and I instantly went, I'm not going to enjoy this movie. Nope, I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm done. And then we got to the part where Wanda was starting to go through Mel's memories and living her own life, and although we didn't get to see a lot of what Wanda did in her own life like we did in the book, I much preferred the way that the movie did it because everything at the start moved along faster and got into the more interesting part of the story where Wanda goes off to find Jared and Jamie, which is the part that I started to get really interested in the book. So I was really happy that they moved everything along at the start at a faster pace to get into the more exciting stuff and allow more time for that in the movie. So yeah, the start was pretty different, but it was just really amazing. And Saoirse Ronan, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce her name, but she was fantastic. I can't fault her at all. She brought out so many emotions in me throughout that film that she's probably now one of my favourite actresses, although I've only seen her in this and City of Embers. And yeah, I really love her now because of the way that she portrayed Wanda. She was just everything that I imagined, everything that Wanda is in the book. She just conveys Wanda's personality, and the way that the whole conversation with Mel was done, I thought that was fantastic as well, with Mel doing the inner monologue and Wanda speaking to her out loud. Since it's the same person talking, it makes sense to have one talking inside the head and the other one talking out loud, otherwise you wouldn't have a clue who was talking at all. You'd be like, was that Mel? Was that Wanda? Who was talking? So yeah, I really enjoyed the way they did the whole Mel and Wanda relationship. Oh, and then we have Jake Abel as Ian. Oh my god, I don't even have the words to describe how much I fell in love with Ian in this movie. I mean, yeah, I loved him in the book, right? But Jake Abel playing Ian was fantastic. Before I went to see the movie, I was a bit apprehensive about Jake Abel playing Ian and the guy playing Jared and the guy playing Kyle. I don't know their names, but because they weren't what was described in the book, I was kind of like, no, they're supposed to be big, huge, massive, muscly guys, but even though they didn't look like what the characters looked like, they portrayed everything perfectly to what these characters are. I mean, Ian was just so sweet and kind and lovely after he tried to kill Wanda. But yeah, I really liked Jake's portrayal of Ian. He made me fall in love with the character so much more and fall in love with him even more. So yeah, and I'm going to go and actually check who plays Jared and Kyle before I start talking, so yeah, I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, so it was Max Irons who played Jared and Boyd Holbrook who played Kyle, and yeah, both of them I felt were perfect for the roles. I mean, Jared just got everything right to what I thought he would be. I mean, he was violent to start with. He was caring and kind when you got to know him, and he was extremely passionate. There were a lot, and I mean a lot, of kissing scenes between Mel and Jared, and yeah, I kind of did get sick of seeing Melanie and Jared's kissing memories. Yeah, and then the kisses between Jared and Wanda, they were good, but they weren't as passionate and overwhelming as I expected them to be and what they were described in the books. But I couldn't care less about Jared. I was all about Ian. Yeah, seriously all about Ian with him and Wanda, and they were just so perfect when they were on the cliffs. And then oh yeah, I absolutely loved Ian and Wanda. Yeah, so Boyd Holbrook playing Kyle was just fantastic. He portrayed Kyle perfectly. The only thing I didn't like was the fight scene when they're in the washing area. I expected it more violent, and I did expect bruises and cuts to be on Wanda's face, but there was minimal damage, and yeah, that was like that throughout the whole movie. There was no bruising, no cuts and whatever, and I actually expected that because that's what makes Ian and all the other characters start to realise that Wanda is not trying to hurt them because of her lack of defence for herself. So yeah, I was quite upset about that not being in it. Diane Kruger as a Seeker as well was absolutely fantastic. She made me absolutely hate this character, although I completely fall in love with her portrayal of her because she was just perfect. Everything about the Seeker that was in the book was in her performance, and I absolutely loved her performance. The way that you got to see the Seeker's determination to find Wanda in the movie as well was something I loved, because we don't see that in the book, because the book is from Wanda's perspective, and I really liked seeing that the Seeker would go to any means to find Wanda and the human resistance. And then William Hurt as Jeb, he was brilliant. He was everything that I thought Jeb would be. He was funny, he was a genius, and yeah, I just absolutely loved Jeb. Caves were not what I was expecting. They were just so amazing. I can't even describe them. They were the way the scenery and the setting was done was just breathtaking, really. I didn't expect them to be able to do something like that because I don't know, I just didn't expect a set like that at all. So I was pretty taken aback when when Wanda walked into the caves and I saw what they had done, and I loved it. I completely adored the scenery. The whole thing with the mirrors I think was done a lot better in the movie than it was in the book, with the whole having to spin the wheels to hide from things coming overhead. I thought that was done fantastically, and I liked how the caves had some light in the movie, because if they'd been pitch black you wouldn't have seen a thing. So yeah, it was nice to have lights and to be able to actually see the movie happening. The other thing that they changed was the whole thing with how Jamie got his cut on his leg, which I'm really happy they changed, because Jamie was far too young to get in a run and the boy playing Jamie was extremely young. So yeah, I'm pretty glad that they changed the way that Jamie got his injury. And the other thing that they changed was the whole medicine thing, and it seemed to be that you only really needed one type of medicine to be able to fix someone, because they only ever seem to use heal or seal, one or the other, and it just seemed to do the exact same job. So yeah, I'm not really too bothered with that, but yeah, it was just a slight difference. The ending had me almost crying. I made myself not cry because I'm not wearing waterproof mascara, and I didn't want to walk out of the cinema with big black lines down my face because that's just not attractive at all. So I was blinking back my tears and biting my lip and my finger to stop myself from crying. The whole scene with Ian at the end when they're saying goodbye was heartbreaking. I swear that's the part, that and the next part was the part that I was extremely close to bawling my eyes out. There were parts earlier where I was tearing up, but these two parts at the end are the parts that I was very close to bawling my eyes out. I'm an extremely emotional person. I cry at a lot of things, so yeah, I was obviously going to cry at these scenes because they're so emotional. And then the other scene was where Wanda and Melanie were saying goodbye to each other. Oh god, that was horrendous. I couldn't take it. That was the part where I was almost like biting a part out of my finger to stop myself crying. It was that bad. So yeah, I was pretty upset at the end of the movie. I think I cried at the book the first couple of times around that I read it. So yeah, I did kind of expect to cry at the movie, but I didn't expect to have that much emotion towards it, because the way that it was done and the actors, everything was just fantastic. And yeah. So then we had the ending with the new Wanda, Emily Browning. I'm not too sure about Emily Browning. I think they could have picked a better actress to play Wanda at the end. She just wasn't what I expected Wanda to look like. No, and her face proportion. Why does her head look so big on her body? Seriously, her head looked massive. No. I'm pretty annoyed about that, because if Stephenie Meyer is writing another 2 books in the series, and they might make the rest of the series into a movie, and if it's focused on Wanda, I'm gonna have to put up with Emily Browning as Wanda, and I don't think I can do that, because why did Melanie and Wanda have to separate? Because Saoirse Ronan was the perfect Wanda, and yeah, I will always picture her as Wanda. Emily Browning will never be Wanda in my eyes, never. She just doesn't have the spark that Saoirse Ronan has as an actress, and I'm not very happy with who they chose to be her. And the whole end scene with her and Ian being together, they just don't look good together at all. No. Saoirse Ronan and Jake Abel looked good together, but not Emily Browning. No. It's just no. Okay, so overall I fell in love with the film. It was probably one of the best book to movie adaptations I've seen, even though there were a lot of storylines that were missed out and stuff that was changed. The things that were changed, I feel, just added to the movie, and I think it was such a fantastic movie that the things that were changed and missed out just don't really matter, because everything that was in the movie made up for it. And I highly recommend going to see this film if you've read the book. If you're not too sure about whether you're going to like her or not, I do recommend that you give it a chance, because I was extremely apprehensive about this movie and I came out loving it. Even though you might not come out loving it, I still feel that it is a movie worth going to see. It was just such a fantastic movie, and it's one that I will definitely be buying when it comes out on DVD and watching over and over again, because I just absolutely loved it. So yeah everyone, that was my review of The Host by Stephenie Meyer. I hope you guys enjoyed this movie review, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone!